Quick disclaimer, I'm aware that there are many more Goomba variants in other Paper Mario games, but for the sake of keeping things simple, I will only discuss Goombas featured in the first 3 Paper Mario games. In the vast land of the Mushroom Kingdom, Goombas in general are often perceived as the lowest of the low by both Bowser's army and Mario and friends. This is due to the soft exterior, but they do have a spirit of a warrior and will not give up trying to defeat Mario even when the odds are against their favor. But what I find interesting is that despite the rest of the world seeing Goombas as puny and insignificant, they themselves have their own hierarchy and rank themselves based on their skills and social status. For instance, we have the Goomba King, who is perceived as royalty and the most respected within the Goomba clan. This part is pretty obvious since, he's a king and all. According to Goombario's title ability, there are a total of 3 Goomba types for each variant: normal, flying, and spiked. It seems that the standard brown Goombas are one layer below the king on the Goomba hierarchy. I believe this is due to the fact that they're widely recognizable, as they have been working tirelessly in Bowser's army in hopes of being promoted by the big man himself. They are often placed on the front lines as they're always the first enemies you encounter in any Mario RPG game. The Goomba variant below the brown ones, I believe, are the Gloomba clan. These are underground dwelling Goombas who have never seen the light of day and constantly reside in the murky tunnels of Toad Town. This resulted in their complexion to become unattractive and moldy. Apparently, these guys thrive in depressing and dank environments. According to the descriptions of them from the first 3 games, they are much more vicious and tough compared to the surface-dwelling brethren, but are much more cynical and have dark personalities that drive away potential friends, which results in them being forced to live in isolation from others. I believe that the reason they lived down in the tunnels is because their entire clan was banished from the living above due to their nasty and uncultured habits and took refuge underground. The next group of Goombas I believe is ranked below Gloombas, or the Hyper Gloomba clan. According to the descriptions of them in the first 2 games, these are barbaric Goombas who have abnormal strength and sturdiness, rendering them the strongest in the entire game when they are charging their attack power. I find it bizarre that the lower the social status of these Goombas, the stronger they actually are. I believe that these so-called uncultured Hyper Goombas are out of touch with reality and are left to fend for themselves in the wild, and result in being super strong as a necessity to survive. They're basically the Neanderthal equivalent of humans. I don't think even Bowser is aware of their existence, as they may have no place in his army, which may explain their lower social ranking due to the barbaric personality. The final variant of Goomba that is actually considered the lowest of the low compared to the other Goombas is known as the Headbot Goomba, who only appears in Super Paper Mario. What's interesting is that in the previous Paper Mario games, Goombas are known for headbotting, but in this game, they don't do that anymore, and only this version is capable of doing so. They seem to travel in large groups, and will relentlessly headbot any enemy they encounter one by one. They have no bias and will attack literally anyone they see as a threat. That's probably why the other Goombas canonically see them as brainless and uncultured thugs, and are outcasts. You know you're having it rough when even weak normal Goombas see you as an outcast. I have always resonated with these guys and understand it could be tough being seen as an outcast among your own species, and they must be dealing with a lot trying to survive while brushing off the negative stigma surrounding them. Overall, it's interesting that the Goombas even have their own social hierarchy, and it's something I would have never found out about before making this video, and I'm glad I did. Thank you for watching. Which version of Goombas do you like the most, and please like and subscribe for more videos like these if you want to.